And we're back for another episode of A Tale of Three Dragons. Now we have an awakened horse who's going to start leveling in Path of War. I kind of regret not making Keelan like a stalker. Instead, she's an eldritch scoundrel who's prestiged into arcane trickster, and I kind of regret not just making a stalker.
I'm a stalker. All she has to do is get me to retrain her.
Fair.
I mean, her being an eldritch scion, eldritch scoundrel and a arcane trickster is not all that bad.
She's more of Tarask's NPC anyway, and casting and stuff. Also, speaking of Tarask, this is our patron Gestalt game. Ross and Tiki are amazing, as I always say. I have a little less of a headache now. As I kind of came into this one, not gonna lie, Ross was not having the best power issues, and I have a lot on my plate today. And Ross knows things about me, and Tiki will probably know things. I'm not gonna say it on stream, but I'll say it later. Life is funny, and so I was coming into this one all right, let's do this. 3 hours. I'm gonna go to bed, forget the world exists for 12 hours, and now there's an awakened horse because of Wild Magic Table, and I feel better about my life.
Yes,
but here's welcome to the reason I love doing this for a living. Onru is still fast in character reflection. Homeland and background occupation on Hero the Horse, 3rd dragon. Well done.
Yeah, he is officially now the 3rd dragon.
Yeah. Harbinger.
I feel like I should have made Tarask to become I feel like if I had known the title of this game and the setting a bit more beforehand, and a bit more, I would have just gone on and made a dragon disciple, because I feel that would have fit so much more thematically. I
mean, you still definitely fit,
I do. It was a bit of a blunder, and it was me playing Pathfinder properly for the first time.
And also, I thought this was going to be a one-on-one game, just me and Chase, and then you two just boop, boop. Anyway, in character reflection, for no hero point, in character reflection for Laws.
Awakened horses. Okay, that's a thing now. But now that now that Hero can actually speak, I don't feel so bad that it is neighboring in on my speed. We should probably see if we can actually make monks' robes in the size that it would take for horses.
Remember, you guys did that already.
Oh yeah, we did. That means its movement speed is actually 5 more than a regular level, so it's probably not a 70, it's probably more than that.
Yeah, at this point it might have ticked over 80, that makes sense. Let me take a look, it's 4 more, not 5 more for a monk's robes.
But, yes, well, I now have someone to talk to at high speed. I'm just laughing, I can't help this.
This is
hilarious. I love this play.
Good session.
She's thanking this. I don't know what's going on with the magic here, but I love it.
Take that hero point. Tarask, you're up.
I will not.
Oh, yeah, damn it. I did it again. I always do that.
You will keep that hero point.
No, fine.
And I will be very sad.
Good. Welcome to Pathfinder.
Jeez.
Unless I start taking hero point feats and get one every session anyway.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, you're up.
Okay. I can play mahjong with a horse now. I am very happy with my life. But in all honesty, the magic here seems as unstable as ever, but more importantly, it seems as though our psyches and our history and our understanding of who we are and where we've come from is more unstable than ever before as well. The more and more I search into these things, people get angry at me for not knowing these things, only for me to find out that other people that I trusted for my entire life have purposely held back information about me. It's just been delightful lately. Yes, delightful. Oh well. At the moment, Onru is contemplating racing Hero, and I think Hero's going to start lecturing me on how to maintain fur properly, so...
He just might. Using the table on D20PFSOD.com that's third party, given Hero's new mental stats, Hero can solve most problems without even trying very hard. He's able to do math or solve logic puzzles. Pardon my French. Mentally with reasonable accuracy. He can sense when a person is upset, but has no awareness of the needs of others, and almost no sense of empathy. And you guys arrive at the crater, Hero, majestically.
We've created a sociopath.
You've given sentience to the horse that was already kind of a sociopath. He's just smarter now. You've created a serial killer. Maybe. Oh my god, Wicked Animal would be the best vigilante, given that his social and hero identity, pun not intended, could just be the same thing, and just, I'm pretending to be a regular horse now. Actually, I'll kill you. Anyway, you guys arrive at the crater. It looks, based on where it's sitting in relation to, also these guys do definitely try to follow, but are much slower, in relation to where those floating islands are, as if, and it's kind of about the same size as if, and actually, to be honest, as I was making this map, Lucia, to build this player, in Broken Universe, my girlfriend, she came up with this as I was trying to figure out what to put on this map. But the crater looks not unlike as if one of those islands had fallen and struck the ground. It's a similar effect. There's also a a ankle-deep amount of water in the crater that seems to be full of some sort of small black creature that you don't necessarily like set down in it, but as you get close to it, they swarm in your direction.
Small black creature? Or
yeah,
creatures?
Creatures, plural, like a swarm of them.
Oh,
Are they coming at us?
Kind of. They seem to not be able to leave the water.
In the water, okay.
Mm.
Acidic water or what?
No, this looks more like pond water.
I'd go investigate them.
Okay. They appear to be leeches.
Does it look like the leeches from the Yama Temple, perchance?
Actually, yes. And also, that it kind of clicks for Tarask as Tarask looks down at it. The crater looks definitely like one of these islands just into the ground. Also, it's vaguely reminiscent of the head bowl of a kappa.
Of course. I'll just kind of look around and say, so, remember the kappa?
Yes, horrible creatures. I just want to dump their water out again.
That is racist.
I just kind of gesture around me. Well, get to it then, Onru.
It kind of possibly could be like a kappa, gone down into the ground, and that's just its head bowl on top, but probably not actually a kappa. Probably just something reminiscent of your time there. And to corroborate that, the floating islands do seem to have some sort of... You haven't exactly crossed into the foliage of the forest that seems to be growing on top, but it didn't look unlike a rainforest.
So this is a kappa's head we're in, essentially. Well, that's just even more concerning and honestly kind of upsetting. Is there anything else of note in this little cave area? Like anything I can...
Not without
throwing
a
a perception... Huh?
Not without a check.
Throwing a perception check at the board.
Okay, so... Hero looks down at it, and Hero sees it. Or, damn it, Tarask looks down at it, and I'm just enjoying playing a terrible horse. And looking down at it, you guys had heard of the term wildling, or wilding, rather. You realize that now, given the fact that, again, memories get repressed. Tarask looks down and sees bits of himself reflected back in the water at a very young age, small enough to stand comfortably under most of the tables in the monastery, though he can now if he crouches. Going under, you can just stand under the tables and reach your hands up and barely touch the bottom of a human's table. You spent a lot of time, and so did Honor, and so did Hiei. You all kind of gravitated toward each other because maybe you'd advantage your own pasts, and Mom couldn't visit because Mom was in the Darklands, or Tarask didn't know Mom because Tarask was an orphan who was raised by the Mom, and perhaps Tarask was a little, I will not say braver, but didn't necessarily need to shut that part out. Or
as much?
or Hiei's family was too busy on the farm to make time because they needed to make ends meet and could not otherwise. And so the three of you gravitated towards each other, but also a lot of time was spent in isolation because you knew there was something not right. You knew that even Onru, even Hiei, who has shown not really any sort of magical inclination in times of duress, could make basic cantrips reacting to things. Like if something would fall and almost hit him, he'd reach his hand out and mage hand slap it away. You never knew why, you never told anyone. Stands to reason they probably knew, frankly, given what went down that day. But going through the library, all of you knew what a wildling was. I did it again, what a wildling was. And it dawns on you now, looking in this water, that when the Rixasha said it, that was not the first time it happened. Rather, not the first time that, you had heard that word.
I kind of try to touch the hand of my younger self with my own.
It reaches up. The leeches skitter away. And everyone can see this.
I'll try to grasp my own hand.
So it comes down as more of a, you reach the hand and it reaches not out of the water, but the water forms it, but stays in the water. Almost as if, to make almost like a whirlpool effect. Or if you've seen Aladdin 3 in the Hand of Midas. It's kind of like that. I'm dating.
Oh my god.
I'm dating. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Oh, good. I was going to say I'm dating myself. And there's a man in this chat much older than me.
I only remember the first one. I know I repressed the memories of the last two.
Aladdin 3 was good. Aladdin 2 was bad, but Jason Alexander was in it, so that's cool. But Aladdin 1 is... You have no idea how many times I watched that movie the day Robin Williams committed suicide. But anyway, hand reaches up, grabs yours. It's heartwarming as the leeches swirl around this kind of whirlpool effect. You look up at yourself, saying nothing, but knowing.
I try to pull myself out of the water.
Make a will save. I'm going to call this interacting with the environment.
25.
Okay, you can do so. The spell effect you wish to happen happens, and a much younger Tarask is pulled out of the water. Even Hero knows he shouldn't open his mouth at this, and everyone just kind of backs off, leaving the two of you alone with little baby Tarask.
I just kind of get down and say, "Hey there, little guy. Are you okay?"
Yeah, I guess.
Guess?
I don't know. Things don't feel right. Everyone looks at me funny.
I shrug. They're not used to such a tiny fellow running around, you know that, right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. After that time that... Those bigger ones, you know, the bigger gray hobgoblins, yeah, they got mad. And,
4 or 5.
So they tried to hurt me, and then I pushed, and they fell off the mountain. Teacher said it was a telekinesis spell.
Telekinesis?
Yeah, stronger than she could do. But I did it.
We always have had a knack for magic, the two of us.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of pat him on the head.
Then when I brought them back to life, it was even more of a shock to everybody. I shouldn't be able to cast True Resurrection. I did it, though.
Looking down to the little rat folk. You can do anything you put your mind to.
Honor, you're big
Don't
now.
let anybody... So you recognize me?
Yeah. We're friends. You're fast.
Yeah. You should tell me when you get back to the small me. I'm going to be the fastest thing there is.
Good.
We've encountered faster things than you.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
You did.
I just say that as I turn around.
Her speed moves much faster than the mobs do.
Fair enough. There was that one guy that had the power of plots to make him go faster.
Who? Oh, Fusaki. Yeah, well, Fusaki has class levels. He doesn't have the power of plot. He has the power of needs to be competitive. But doesn't have a sheet yet. But will soon! But little baby Teresk looks around and just, is that feels like Hero. Reaches out and obviously is casting something that should not be able to do as a very small child and just pings. I thought Hero was brown. Why is Hero white? Hero looks like he wants to say something not nice, but is smart enough to keep his mouth shut.
He took a bath this morning, I say.
No, I think he was reincarnated. Just got the body of a horse still. I don't think he was a horse always, though. I think he was something a little more powerful. Maybe not very nice, but real with brain. Like us. We have good brains. That's how I could resurrect the dead.
Yeah.
They didn't cross us again after that. We're powerful.
Hey. You know what they say about power, young one? It's best not to go around flaunting it.
Okay.
It's best to have it and only use it when you need it.
Okay.
You know that, right?
I understand.
Going around saying you're powerful is a very rude and ignorant thing to say, and teacher will not be happy to hear that you're going around telling people you're better than them because of something like that, and you know that.
You just, sometimes at night, I go to a place that looks around, realizes where he is. Kind of like this one, you know? But not.
Yeah.
More bad. And there's things with eyes and funny looking weapons and this woman. And she says that she'll be mom and that I'm very powerful, just like her. And if I just talk to mom more.
I put my hand on him pretty tightly and say, you know who I am, right, little one?
Yeah, you're me. But bigger.
And listen to me. I look down him in the eyes. And I know you're smart enough to understand this. Stay away from that woman. She is dangerous. She does not want to be your mom because she loves you. She wants to be your mom to control you.
That doesn't sound very nice. Okay, I'll stay away. Teacher gave me this. He pulls from his robes a very... It's as if to be like my first craft made out of clay and like popsicle sticks, that kind of thing. But it's definitely Kijang's holy symbol, just like stick, clay, circle, painted kind of shoddy. But that's what it is.
I reach into my underneath my kind of like outfit and pull up where my holy symbol is. It's a little bit nicer because I actually crafted it with like spellcraft and whatnot. At this point, and I kind of say, keep working at it, buddy. Soon it'll look as nice as this, although I then reach further down and pull out the same one that he's showing me. You still have a place for the classics.
Okay, I'll keep it.
Actually, since you're here, the older you seems to have gotten a little forgetful. Do you remember how you get out of that place you go to when you go to sleep?
I wake up.
Anything particular happen to wake you up?
Sometimes Kiyomi's mad. She can't find her ball, and so she punches a hole in the door. She's very strong. Teacher says that one day she'll be stronger than anyone. She'll be able to lift whole mountains with just her arms. Stronger than even that guy over there. Akane looks offended, but says nothing.
I just kind of, at this point, I lean in, give my younger self a hug, and say, well then, I think it's best time for you to wake up, little one.
He returns it pretty bodily, like kind of like jumps into you, his tail wrapping around your waist. Okay, I'll go wake up now. And he dives into a pool that is ankle deep. He dives headfirst and is no more, becomes the water.
You were much cuter when you were smaller.
I don't say anything, I just kind of continue looking at the water.
Hero laughs. Keelan laughs, but nicer. Yes, that's correct. Horse. Yeah.
I could cast True Resurrection at that young of an age. I'm not even paying attention to that. My mind's entirely focused on this knowledge I got as I just push up from the ground.
Yeah, make a will
Seems
save.
to me we've been.
Will save versus repressed memories.
Another one?
Yeah. It's pretty foggy, but you have no reason to have lied to yourself if that was really you, though this is a mindscape and this is all kind of wonky. Like Ardra said,
They had my symbol.
back in Parsad, like Ardra said, the nature of not having a soul means that some magic flows through you a little more easily, whereas some bounces right off you. What's that for?
It was an intelligence check to figure out whether I'd figure something out to say, and no, I did not.
Yeah, you're still. Everyone's kind of dumbstruck at probably the most heartfelt moment in this campaign. I kind of messed myself up there a little.
Yeah, no.
I have feelings. I forgot about that. Horse was funny. Okay, so like Tarask being a little more in tune with magic than the other two of you, though Anru has some inborn power, and possibly
that's just what I am.
That might have been the reason maybe you were on the surface, Anru might think, given the fact that drow nobility is rare and sought after, and people are killed for it, and people are killed for it if they aren't born into noble societies and are just like poor slaves' daughters that are much stronger than the people around them, and so they escape Darklands and come live in the Forest of Spirits, probably escaping around the same time that the Uli and the Uli's people have escaped Darklands as well, because also have come up from Forest of Spirits. And that was not the connection I necessarily meant to make, but it's good. We all have mushroom beer and see little babies. Anyway, Taraski is able to, in a mechanical sense, in the waking world, though the consequences are incredibly dire, to do it repetitively, cast off any first-party spell list. Anru is too. Anru casts like a ranger. Uses her, whatever, I guess charisma is your best mental stat, I'm guessing. As casting mod, Tarask uses the
my best mental.
Yeah.
Intelligence. I have a 20 in intelligence.
No, that's probably your initiator modifier. Fair. Okay, then you both use your int and can pull from any first party spell list, like for Anru as a ranger, Tarask as a wizard. But the consequences are very dire. And sometimes you can push a little harder to get more, like to true resurrect a couple of hobgoblin bullies that you telekinesis off the side of a mountain.
That's, well then. I'm just kind of standing up, dusting my hands off, looking over to Anru. Would you like to meet your past self?
I mean, now's the time.
Literally, we have 15 minutes left.
I'd look down in the puddle.
Okay, you definitely... You see small you.
I'd actually see me.
Small you running around the monastery. Still pretty fast, faster than most of the adults. But not, like, fast you now.
Alright, I'm going to actually do this a little different, and then you can tell me whether or not it works.
Okay.
Reflex save to snatch myself back through the puddle.
Yeah, that works. It's still interacting with the stuff, and you definitely, like, you go running and you see you, and you grab you by the, like, humanoids don't have a nape, but there's a bit of muscle there, and just, whoop, and you just,
I'm a humanoid, but I'm also a rat folk, so, like, yes.
The rat folk probably does. A drow is a different case, though. Actually, the worst way to do this, given how big Galarian's elves are, would be to grab Anru by the ears. Just,
I was considering it by the back of the shirt.
Also good. Fine. That is much less painful and works. Back of shirt resolves and is better. And out of the water comes little energy. Let me go! I'm fast. Now. Wait. You're me. I'm you. Trask is still a shorty. And there's what is happening? Where am I?
Well, it seems that you happen to wind up fast enough to snatch people back from time into another realm of existence. Aren't you awesome?
I'm pretty sure this is what? No, I'm dreaming. Let me go! She begins struggling, kicking futilely at an adult's legs, as a child would, about the same age as Tarask. Actually, exactly the same age as Tarask, because that happened. Arms flailing into your chest. What is this?
Just wanted to ask you some questions.
Okay, fine, but put me... And you set her down, and she tests the ground, goes running around a little bit, runs around the circle
I keep pace.
Easily enough, you go walking. And you guys... It takes not the longest for you to not run around necessarily the entire crater, as the crater's big, but like around a portion of it, double back, and like a minute later, just... You didn't even break a sweat! Oh, you're fast. I'm fast too, but you're fast.
You're gonna get real fast.
Yeah? Okay. How?
Well, I'm you. That means you wind up this fast. Later.
Did you get it from the Dark Lady? She said she could make me fast. She said she'd take me back to Sekimina, and we could conquer all of the Drow together. And she levitates herself a little as to say this. My nobility will assert itself, and she'll be our patron. We don't need demon lords. They're weak and came from humanoids. Boy, I'm a humanoid.
I'd take a seat in the air, levitating.
All right, she follows suit.
Well, whoever this Dark Lady is, I don't remember her. But then again, that's because younger minds sometimes are a little better than older ones. So, we probably should not listen to her at all. And if you see her, just run away, because you're going to wind up faster even without her help.
Oh, good. Good. She's kind of weird. I just kind of want to fight things, you know? And she says I can fight things, but... I don't know.
You won't need her help for that. I'd pull the double scythe off my back and spin it so that the blades show up.
Wow. And she pulls... Lots of memories are repressed, but you would definitely remember the, oversized matches that the monastery thought it would be cool to let a child play with, because that's safe. I mean, you guys were not told the truth about what happened in your day of birth, so I feel like running around with fire's not that bad. And just kind of poop together and they light up, not as true torches, but more like sparklers. That kind of effect. She's like, yeah! And I like to hit people with these. But the Dark Lady says I can hit all the people. But the monastery says I can hit only the bad people. But I think the bad lady's bad. Tarask is bad sometimes.
Yeah.
He's smart. We're smart too, but he's smart and can do magic with the smart.
Well, here's what we need to think about. If we're going to actually attack people, we need to make sure they're ones that are hurting other people.
Kill me?
No.
I can't hold myself back. I burst out laughing at that.
No,
so does Baby Honor. Baby Honor's a little more with it than Tarask, because she obviously matures a lot quicker, being an elf. Also, should say.
No. Kill me. That's just dangerous. You don't hit kill me.
She did punch through the wall once.
Just hold the bridge of my nose.
Don't do that. Oh,
no.
Fair enough.
But what else do you remember? Because, like I said, my mind's not as good as it used to be. You might think of something that I don't remember.
Sometimes I can run even faster. I don't know what happened, but... Well, Kiyomi has this friend. He's our age. And I don't know what Kiyomi sees in him. His name's Riku. I think he's a farmer. I don't know. Sometimes his family comes up to the monastery and Kiyomi talks to him, and they seem to like each other. And sometimes they'll sneak off, to go play out in the farms. And then I followed them, and then these people found me, and I think they wanted to try to sell me because we're dark elves, and they could make a lot of money off us and the right people. And then I focused really hard, and then I was able to run faster for longer, but not because of, and she pulls out my first chemistry set from whence the tincture once sprang, but because I wanted to do it, and it happened.
So at the chemistry set, I would actually start putting together what my current speed tincture is, like the one that I make every day. It's like, I'm sure you've got the recipe down, but here's mine. Because if you actually are from my past, give ourselves a little jump start, why don't we? Mischievous smile.
Oh, you're cheating even now, I say.
It's not cheating, it's talking to repressed memories, thank you.
But you are the repressed memory.
Yeah, and this is your brain.
Or is she the repressed memory?
I think we all are.
Or are we the repressed memory?
Everyone's a repressed memory, even the horse.
Do you even know what a repressed memory is, little one?
Yeah, I'm that. All of this is going to get repressed so I don't do some weird timey-wimey stuff and then know that we don't have a soul until much later. But I don't... That's nice.
We didn't say anything about his soul to you. How do you know this?
Because I'm in your brain. And also, I have a vague...
Maybe you're the dark woman after all. This is just some sort of heartfelt attempt of her to awaken our guard or something. Okay, let's stop breaking the fourth wall now.
I mean, that's not the worst idea I ever heard in my life, though. As Baby Anru keeps talking, Baby Tarask returns, and Baby Tarask and Baby Anru, their form gets a little melty, as if to go back to water, but it doesn't go. It just kind of liquefies the skin to House of Wax them, and they grow together, and here comes... Alongside this comes little baby Hero, who looks just as androgynous as he did before. Yeah, damn it, I did it again. I did that when he was here, and I do it now. Little baby Hiei. Little baby Hee-hee! With the my first wooden katana at his side, and they melt together into a strange amalgamation of Azimar and Drow and rat folk. A very hairy purple-skinned celestial being rises forth and just, join us. Kradig is dead. Time passes here much slower than it does where your body is. They speak.
Who is dead?
You know, the namer. What do you think this is? A delaying tactic, they say in a discordant triad of voices melded together into one across an octave and a half. You didn't think I would let you have a name that easily.
You think you can stop me?
I already did. No one's left now. We'll march on the monastery.
Yeah, well...
The idiot pyromancer thinks killing you is a good idea. I can't let that happen. Fortunately, your monks...
What did you say?
The idiot pyromancer...
About my monastery?
The fools at the monastery thought that when he came to attack the village, destroying his resources would be a good idea. He tries now in his tower in the Psyche rainforest, that old abandoned temple. He thinks he can sacrifice all those Gribbly. He thinks his new general will be enough. He can't get the resources back now to stop me. I am more powerful. And in his...
This is the Dark Lady, right? This isn't the Celestial Fellow. Or is this the thing that's always... the spirit that's always following us?
This is a discordant, melty, golem-y thing that resembles Hiei, Tarask, Anru as children. But yeah, you would assume this is whatever power wants you. Because that was a pretty good idea as we were breaking the fourth wall, it turns out.
Oh, jeez!
Thanks for helping the GM. The
Keep your damn
pyromancer's
mouth shut.
resources are drained. The pyromancer doesn't have enough to stop me. He did. He thought he'd spend it killing children. And when I let the master know...
Wait, so the pyromancer's in the jungle?
Yeah, he is. He left the
Okay,
school. He's assembling an army.
I mean, I think I can agree. I say, looking over to Honor, that we all want him dead. But you, no. Go. Go away.
Make a will save.
Okay.
This is your second sense? Yeah. That's more than enough.
31!
And in that, she kind of just... into nothing, as this is still your realm.
Alright, I'll stand up, look over to Honor and say, alright, enough memories of the past and knowledge we've forgotten. It's time to get out of here. Because I think we have two targets now. One to get named, hopefully, that I failed to get the Master of Wind, and then another to go punch that pyromancer in the face for all the awful things he's constantly doing in order to what he seems to think is an attempt to save the world or some matter.
So as you two, you send away the amalgamation of the three of you and Hiei, and everyone is a little more understanding of everything that's going on in the world. One remains. Smaller form, again, not the strongest of his kind, and looks kind of androgynous given how, honestly, how just even, just how radiant this kid is. A huge indicator of his celestial parentage. Little baby Hiei. I don't feel good. Trask, what's wrong with me?
I'm having really bad deja vu right now. Hi, Hiei. How are you doing? What's the matter?
Just... I don't feel well. I try to eat food and it doesn't stay down. I feel... And he pulls up his robe like the kid is skin and bones. Just ribs popping out everywhere. You can almost see his all of everything. Just skeleton with flesh draped over. Keelan puts her hand over her mouth in just abject horror. Hero, Hero, can you carry me? I don't... And he kind of pitches forward. And as he does so, he doesn't have the muscle to support his body. His shoulder pushes back out of the socket as he catches himself on the ground.
I would stop him before he does that.
Make a reflex save.
I would catch me. Okay. Honor's got it. Honor's got it.
Honor's poop and pushes the shoulder back, and he stands up, kind of phases through you for a second, but then is pushed back. Hero moves over in just about as much abject horror as Keelan. Picks up the boy in his mouth and leans in such a way that Hiei can pull himself into the saddle, and doesn't necessarily sit astride it so much as just leans into Hero's neck for warmth. I don't know why, but I'm sick. Food doesn't taste good. The monks say I'll be just as powerful as them one day. My knowledge of the sword will bring people who deserve it to justice. The spirits are with us. The samurai teach me the way of the warrior, and it makes sense, but I don't think it's for me. I don't know. Looks across at the two of you.
You must still learn the sword to be able to protect yourself. But if it's not for you, then you shouldn't do it.
I think you're right, Anru. Like I said, I think I'm sick, and I don't really want to get better. I think it would be better if I was by myself somewhere. I can't really eat. Just want to live the last few days of my life, and Keelan is just like sobbing openly at this. Hiro is too. Akane doesn't have the power to process any of these big emotions, so he just kind of stares at the kid and like, no, child, you will be brave like me. Maybe not as big, but you will be strong. No, giant kin. And he sounds a little more grown up as he kind of picks himself up in the saddle a little. Let me go. The Master of Fire will find me. Shamsuk will do what he needs to do. Maybe that's enough. Maybe if one of us dies, my sacrifice won't be in vain. Teacher says the way of the warrior is in death. And I accept that. I can't fight anyway.
You're foolish to think that just giving up and dying is the simplest solution here.
But it is.
You're wise.
You know we don't have a soul. I don't know why it affects me more. Maybe it's the fact that somebody in my family decided to get with an angel at some point. I don't understand. Sounding not unlike though he retains the body of a child, he talks fully grown as you remember him from so long ago. I can't hold you guys back like this.
How are you looking to him?
Because look at me. And he, like, as he tries to say that, his throat cracks a little, and blood comes out of both ends of his mouth as he, like, into a fully grown himself, retaining all of the loss of muscle and everything. He tries to draw his wakizashi from his sheath, can't pull it out, literally lacks the physical strength to do so. I suppose if I keep pushing myself, I could be magic like you. He pushes. This is around the time that one of the, like, little dwarfy warrior boys starts to like waddle up, and he just kind of like throws his hand and end over end into the acid and burns.
I'd actually walk forward and reach my hand up to put on his shoulder.
You definitely feel the bone.
It's not that you're not holding us back. You're giving us a reason to move forward. So all we ask of you is not to give up before we have a chance to find our other halves and put them in their place together inside us.
But I already found him. He said he doesn't want me. I'm not strong enough.
Did you ask him? You're not strong enough.
I'm not.
You're not strong enough. Look at you. I believe you to be the strongest of us. With your body like this, you have persevered, and you even fought by our side.
It's not what my soul said.
Sometimes you will not agree with what your soul says, and it's not inside you. It's not experiencing the same things you are. Until you are joined, you are two separate people.
I guess. He steps off, he like sidles off and slides down Hiro, able to support him, so you're not entirely sure how, because the dude lacks a basic muscle system. He's just bone at this point. And as he hits the ground, he becomes a little more corporeal, real. You realize now that when you're pulling these kids out of the water, you couldn't smell them. And none of you have scent here at us, but none of you have, like, the mechanical scent, but everyone has a certain odor. They just kind of smelled like nothing. But as Hiei touches the ground, he enters the mindscape in the real. Much like you have. I don't know what's going on, but we need to hurry.
Yes, we're aware of that.
Shamsuk's in Ramparasad. He came back looking for you, and he couldn't find you when he couldn't convince Ardra to side with him and kill us. He went into the forest He's reanimated
So,
everything in there. He's building an army. At this point, it's not necessarily to stop us. I don't think he's trying to stop the Clippeth Lord that's coming. But I'm pretty sure he wants us there too. He's killing people we've met. He's gone to the Kitsune village. That's why I'm in Ramparasad, or looks around here in this, wherever we are.
Kitsune village has fallen.
They're dead. They're all dead.
All of them.
He reanimated all of them. He's reanimated the Gripply. He's reanimated the Kappa. It's not just Kijong's pyromancy. He understands how necromancy works. He brought Kiyomi back. He's trying to call us out.
What?
She's undead. Leads his armies. Gigantic, monstrous, draconic Kitsune.
Souls of everyone, stolen the souls of everyone we know and forced them into servitude to fight his war.
He told Ardra, and Ardra told me, that this is to stop a Clippeth Lord. But it's pretty obvious to me that, again, he's trying to call us out. If he
At
can,
this point, I actually can't stand here and do nothing. I'll leave Tarask to continue listening. My character is going to start running as fast as she can because that's pretty much what she does when she's upset. She's just making circles of the crater.
Gotcha. Hiro moves to Hiei, and Hiei is here physically and realizes his horse is smarter now. Hiro is a sociopath, but his former friend is deathly ill. Hiro just kind of rests his head on Hiei's shoulder as Hiei absently pets it. Keelan, her hair has gone, I would say white, but that's not correct in so much as to say it has lost color. Her eyes have done the same. Akane just looks with fear at the warrior who's lost everything. Dusk, we need to go. We need to come back to Ramparasad. They're not lying. Kradog's dead. The Clippeth did this to you to buy time so they could get there first and kill him. There's no one left that can name us.
I'm going to start running back at everyone.
I stop and I just look over at Hiei and I say, no one has named us. No one can name us.
There's no one left. We're too old.
I just look to him and say, damn them. Damn those that want us to not have a name. Damn those that don't want us to have our own soul. I have a name. My name's Tarask. And oh god, this is probably the worst thing I'm gonna do yet, but I want to use that ability you were talking about that allows us to cast any spell.
Okay. To further elaborate on that, you have to have the sufficient caster level. You can't plane shift.
Ah, shit.
So you can cast a psychic spell of 3rd level or 4th level.
I was gonna try and figure out if I could force.
You said on the material plane that was the limit.
Also
You
true.
actually surpassed
Here,
that on this.
here in the Mindscape, you can do a lot of crazy Mindscape stuff.
Well, I want to name myself.
Make a will save.
This isn't gonna work, but I believe in it.
I'm not looking at the dice.
24.
24, yeah. Roll a percentage dice. Spell fails.
Gosh,
I have to bring up that tab again because my computer blue screen. Where is my wild? 23. Oh man, this could be weird. Wild magic. In place of you trying to bind a soul to your pseudo-undead body, what could happen? Wild magic optional rolls, you have a 23. Okay. I'm gonna put this in chat. You can tell me what a 23 says. I want to make sure I'm capable of reading. Would you please tell the class what a 23 says?
The caster is affected as if targeted by the spell.
Uh-huh.
It goes through!
Okay.
Yeah, you were naming yourself.
So, that cheats the N64 game, but the dice have spoken. How? Okay, So, Tarask, when anyone casts, is like you reach into the ethereal plane and pull out a thing, kind of like untying a knot and then retying it, and then boop, there's the magic, and you feel in this mindscape. Again, it's like whipped cream on top of motor oil on top of coffee. It's good, but it hurts, and then you reach in and it hurts real bad, and then suddenly you don't feel it, just gone. But so too is a lot of things. So now you can no longer cast off every spell list, and you cannot influence the mindscape. And if you get a 21 to 29 on a percentage dice in this mindscape, it will work if the caster tries to cast it and fails, but Tarask has a true name. Did not think that's where this was going.
Hell yeah!
So it was, and everyone, like, he looks dumbstruck. The NPCs don't really understand. Onru can't quite feel Tarask in her head in the same way that Onru used to be able to, though Onru realizes she can feel Hiei's abject depression every fourth or fifth word.
I just turn around, look at him, look up to Hiei. Name yourself, you fool.
You can try it.
For others to do it.
Alright. He rolls a d20. He fails. He rolls percentage dice. He has to get 21 to 29. He got a 14. So in lieu of it...
Wait. He was a player character. He still has a hero point.
Okay, fine. He'll pop his hero point. And receives a... actually, he got a 59 and then an 82. So the 82 instead would mean... What happens to him?
The caster
teleports to a square of your choice adjacent. So at first, it seems more like everything would shatter. Like he tries to do it, and reality divides by 0, and everyone's gear starts shaking. And then instead of everything going pop, he just kind of forward a little bit. I don't think I can do that again. Oh my... He throws up. Blood, mostly. Blood and water all over the ground. Onru can try. Onru can have a hero point also, because Onru helped me receive a file that didn't get corrupted. Best.
I'm not going to name myself. I'm going to name Hiei.
Okay, make a will save.
Can I assist in some way with this?
You can make a will save.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm hero pointing that. Yes!
Okay. In a flash of light, he you stop feeling him, and the muscle rebuilds really quick back into like a fully fledged Akane. Akane bows, just like on the ground, knees, hands down, before a much more powerful warrior who's recreated before your eyes. He draws his sword and flips a figure 8 with it before putting it back. I can't believe it. Well, that's 2 of us.
I look over to Onru. You think you can do it?
I can make a try.
I mean, you succeeded with Hiei.
Okay. Roll the percentage dice.
Wait, didn't you get an extra hero point because, the Hall's saving the file?
Yeah, that was the hero point she used, as opposed to the one she used to get a bonus before. Okay, so then 84 would indicate...
Spell targeting the caster's turn back to spell turning. Oh no.
Okay. So that means... Would affect the caster instead. I'll let Onru have one more.
Wait. The next spell that's cast upon me affects the caster instead. That goes through.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But you failed the save. Basically, what has to happen is you fail the save and then get a 21 to 29 is why Tarask started this whole everything, because 21 to 29 is the caster is affected as if targeted by the spell. Before we call it a night, I'll let Andrew try a 96. What happens on a 96? The caster is affected by haste for 5 rounds. So Honor tries a lot and pushes hard, and just despite everything, Honor can't.
Can I roll something to just maybe push that up to 98? 98?
98 would extend the spell, 99 would maximize it. You can try one more percentage dice. Taras can try one.
Okay.
Yeah. Honor's burnt everything out. Honor can't.
Oh, okay, never mind.
And a 55, a 55. The area of the a 48? Okay, so 48 is
all targets.
She becomes invisible. Hiei will try once. He abjectly fails the save. Rolls a 11.
The spell deals half as much damage as normal.
So that doesn't count, and he has to reroll. Instead gets a 19. 19. The caster becomes sickened for 5 rounds.
He's throwing up?
He is throwing up. He has a hero point. He's going to add a d4 to that 19.
Oh.
2021. Okay, that does it. Because we needed 21 to 29. He has an extra hero point, and that's try as you guys might, and it's a huge mess. And during this time, lots and lots of the clip, including 2 you've never seen before, approach the sides of the crater. They're not quite saurian, not quite demonic, not quite draconic, some kind of mix of the two, standing upright, carrying swords. Several of these dudes with sorcerers behind them. They rush the crater knowing that now they have no ability to influence the world. They have no ability to take you guys, because through the power of your own psychic magic, because that's basically what this is.
Will, that's right.
You have
discarded blue cards.
And thus you have named yourselves. The mindscape shatters. You guys find yourselves back in your bodies on that boat, sunburnt, tired, at level 8. And that's where we're calling it for tonight. Hiei is coming back as a Gestalt. We have a 6-man party. So by the powers vested in me...
Wait, Hiei's there?
He will be back next session. He's not there, but he's fixed, and you guys were going to meet him pretty soon. So everyone's going to go to GMPC. I want to assign them based on where the NPCs have gone. I want to say, and if you guys aren't cool, then I'll run all of them, but I want to say Control of Akane, and how he levels from here. He just dinged. He has 2 warder levels. To use why you understand the levels. Goes to Tiki Keelan at... Eldritch Scoundrel 4, Arcane Trickster 2 will go to Ross, and I'll take Hiei and Hero as a Gestalt Samurai Monk like he was going to be before. Anyone object? If they do, I'll run all 3. Okay.
I'd like if you run mine. Mainly because I don't. I'm still learning how to run myself.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah, I don't particularly care to run an extra sheet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, fair. No, that's totally fine. I just figured I would ask. I will run all of them as we have a gigantic party now, because that was a fun session. I'm just not sure what happened, but we did it. And thank you guys so much for watching. Stop record button. Say bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.